Hello students, in this class we will discuss about some information regarding the rotor parameters. So here rotor parameters is one of the important part here because we can make the relation between rotor input, rotor loss and rotor output. So that's just to take the rotor, take some rotor. So this is the rotor. So just drawing the rotor here, and generally the power from the rotor will take some power, that is take it as a rotor input, and rotor have some loss inside it, that is nothing but rotor copper loss and rotor iron loss. Then the remaining thing is the rotor it gets some loss, take it as a rotor loss, and the remaining power is rotor gross mechanical power developed. We can make relation between these two things. We can make some relation. So generally our rotor input is nothing but we are giving the rotor input, we are giving in terms of flux. Some flux is entering into the rotor with the speed of synchronous speed. Our intention is to rotate the rotor in synchronous speed, but what happened? Due to some factors, rotor will rotate only NR, rotor speed. Our intention is to give the rotor synchronous speed, nothing but we are giving the flux, but rotor will rotate NR. Generally, we know the relation between rotor speed and synchronous speed. Generally, rotor speed is nothing but ns into 1 minus s. ns into 1 minus s. So any efficiency is nothing but the ratio of output to input. Here we can write the rotor efficiency. Rotor efficiency is nothing but, so rotor output by rotor input. Generally rotor output by rotor input. So generally our intention is to rotor output, we can make it in the terms of speeds also. That means I can make it rotor output is rotor speed because torque is constant and input is synchronous speed. I am giving the input as synchronous speed, but rotor will rotate as rotating speed. So now we know the relation. What is NR here? NR is NS into 1 minus S. Here is the NS. Then both are cancelled. That is nothing but 1 minus S. What is rotor output? Rotor output is nothing but we can write gross mechanical power developed, PGMD. Rotor input, take it as rotor input. What is the relation is 1 minus S by E. 1 minus S by 1. 1 minus S by 1. That means whenever rotor input is 1, then gross mechanical power developed are nothing but rotor output is S. Then what is rotor loss? Rotor loss is nothing but input minus output. So I can take it as 1 minus S. I can take it as the 1 minus S. So this is the relation between the rotor input and rotor loss and rotor output. So I can make it as rotor input and rotor loss and rotor output. Output is different from gross mechanical developed, but we will include some points. It is 1 is S is 1 minus S. 1 is S is 1 minus S. This is the relation between rotor parameters. Very important relation. It is rotor input, rotor loss, rotor gross mechanical power developed relation is 1 is S is 1 minus S. What is S here? You know that S value is the slip. What is the value of S? S is nothing but Ns minus Nr by Ns. Ns minus Nr by Ns. Okay, and we will make some points regarding this. The points, the first point, rotor efficiency is depends on rotor speed. Generally, we can make some points, that is here rotor efficiency generally depends on rotor speed. So that's why the reason is, look at here, rotor speed will decide, because rotor efficiency here and rotor speed is here, both are proportional. If rotor speed is decreases, if rotor speed is decreases, what happens? Slip value increases and efficiency of rotor will decreases. That's why if rotor speed is decreases and slip value increases and rotor efficiency is decreases. That's why always try to maintain rotor speed approximately equal to the, that's why try to maintain rotor speed approximately equal to synchronous speed. Try to maintain rotor speed is approximately equal to the synchronous speed. So always we have to maintain rotor speed near to the synchronous speed. Then rotor efficiency will be increases. Whenever rotor efficiency increases, automatically efficiency of the induction motor also increases. Okay, right. So that is the reason to maintain efficiency of the induction motor. To maintain the efficiency of the induction motor, slip value always less. To maintain efficiency of induction motor, slip value less. Better to maintain slip value is less. That is, slip value is 2% to 8%. That means what is this value? 2%. What is the value of 2%? Is 0.02 to 0.08. That is the reason always slip value less and speed value nearer to synchronous speed. Then the rotor will be efficient. Automatically induction motor also efficient. So these are the some important points regarding the rotor parameters. Okay, this is the most important relation: rotor input, rotor loss, gross mechanical power developed. Okay, right. Now we will discuss some problems regarding these equations of the induction motor. The first problem: a 4-pole 50H 3-phase induction motor running with 1440 rpm, gross mechanical power developed is 50 kilowatts. Determine the rotor input and rotor loss. So this model you can ask in the problem. First, given data, number of poles are 4 and frequency is 50 Hz. Okay, 3-phase induction motor running with the 1440 rpm. Speed is 1440 rpm. Gross mechanical power developed. He given gross mechanical power developed, that is 50 kilowatt. And determine the rotor input. First question. Second question is rotor loss. Now, in order to find the solution, what is the relation between, what is the equation, and rotor input plus rotor loss plus rotor output equal, what is the relation? 1 is S is 1 minus S. And in this we don't know the slip. First we will find out the slip value. Slip In order to find out the slip, what is the formula for the slip? Ns minus Nr by Ns. And we don't know the Ns value. Now we will find out the Ns value. What is Ns? Ns equal to 120 F by P, synchronous speed. Here 120, frequency is 50 Hz and number of poles are 4. Then the speed is 1500 RPM. Speed is 1500 RPM. Now we can write the slip value. Slip value is 1500 and 1440 by, again, slip value is the 1500. Then the slip value is 0. The slip value is 0.04. This is the slip value. Next, and we have to find out the relation. First you have to take this relation, rotor input and rotor loss. Just take it. So we can make it the equation, that is rotor input to rotor loss relation equal to 1 by S. By using that, we have to find out the rotor input, and we don't know, so we have a relation. Better to take rotor input and rotor loss, no problem. Yeah, better to take reverse, rotor input and rotor output. Anything is possible. I am taking rotor input and rotor output. Then the relation is 1 by 1 minus S. 1 by 1 minus S. And here already rotor output is nothing but gross mechanical development. Both are same, just assume. And this is 1 by 1 minus S means 1 minus 0.04. So by simplifying that, we will get rotor input as 50 kilowatts, here already given, by 0.96. Then by doing the simplification, we will get 52.08 kilowatt. 52.08 kilowatt. So we are getting rotor input as, rotor input value is 52.08 kilowatts. And now we will find out the rotor loss directly. What is the rotor loss? By using the relation, we can find out directly. What is the equation? Then rotor loss equal to rotor input minus rotor output. What is rotor input? 50.08 is the rotor input. The rotor loss, and we have to rotor output or gross mechanical power developed 50, then we will get 2.08 kilowatt. So this is, therefore the rotor loss equal to 2.08 kilowatts. So you can ask any problem like this model, you have to follow this principle. Then the rotor input is 52.08 and rotor loss is 2.08 kilowatts. So this is the procedure to do this method. And we look at the second problem. The second problem is a 2-pole 3-phase induction motor delivers 37 horsepower at the shaft at a speed of 2850 on 500 volts 50 Hz supply. The mechanical losses are 3.5 horsepower HP and the power factor of the operation is 0.85. Calculate first slip, second rotor copper loss, third total power input if the stator losses are 2500 watts, D efficiency, E line current. This is the given problem. First, one by one, we have to write the given data. First, in the given data, 2-pole machine, this is a 2-pole machine, that's why P equal to, and delivers the power. This is the output power actually. The output power is 37 horsepower. We can convert horsepower into watts, then the calculation is easy. what is 1 horsepower gives? 1 horsepower gives 735.5 watts. So by doing the simplification we will get 27213.5 watts. This is the output power. And he given the speed value is 2850 rpm, 2850 rpm, and he given output, and he given the voltage means line voltage, that is 500 volts, 500 volts. Okay, frequency is 50 Hz, always frequency is the 50 Hz. And mechanical losses, they mention the mechanical loss, that is 3.5 horsepower, and we can convert these mechanical losses into watts. Again 735.5 watts, sorry, 735.5 watts. Then we will get the mechanical power as 25742. All of you use the calculator while doing the problems, otherwise you will not get, you will didn't get the practice, then you will get lot of doubts on the examination. So this is the mechanical power, right? So first question, what is the first question? And he given power factor also. Power factor is represented with cos phi, that is the 0.85. And the first question is to find out the slip value. Generally the slip value is the formula of ns minus nr by ns. This is the slip. So what is ns? ns is the formula 120 f by p. Here 120 f is the 50, number of poles are 2, then automatically 60 times 60 into 50 we will get 3000 rpm, 3000 rpm. Then slip value, what is the slip value? Slip value ns minus nr by ns. So ns is 3000 rpm, nr given 2850, and the ns is 3000 rpm. Then what is the slip value? Slip value is 0.05, 0.05. Slip value is the 0.05. So directly 0.05 or 5%. If you take the percentage, we will get the 5%. And what is the next point? Next point is to find out what is the second point? Rotor copper loss. And just divide it. The second point is the rotor copper loss, that is PC value. So before entering into the rotor copper loss, we have a relation between equation. Before that, we have to understand one concept. That concept is gross mechanical power developed is nothing but the output power plus mechanical losses. This is very important point. First, gross mechanical power developed in the induction motor. After that, by removing the mechanical losses from the gross mechanical power developed, we will get the output power. That's why we have to include this. So what is output power? 27213.5. Then what is mechanical losses? Mechanical losses 2574.2. Then the gross mechanical power developed is 2929787.2 watts. 2 watts. Okay. Then we have a relation. The relation is The relation is asking to find out the rotor copper loss. We have a relation between rotor copper losses and gross mechanical power developed is S by, the relation is S by 1 minus S. S by 1 minus S. From this we will get gross mechanical power developed equal to, sorry, we need rotor copper loss. Second question is PC is nothing but rotor copper loss, that is S by 1 minus S into gross mechanical power developed. Just write that PC equal to S is 0.05, next this is 0.95 into gross mechanical power developed 29787.2. By doing the calculation we will get rotor copper loss as 1.59. So this is the 1.59 kilowatts. 1.59 kilowatt. This is the copper loss of the rotor is 1.59 kilowatt. The first is completed. The first value is the slip value is the 0.05, and the gross mechanical power developed, by using the gross mechanical power developed we will get copper loss is 1.59 kilowatt. Yes. Next question. The next question is the total power input in the stator losses is 2500 watts. Okay. Second question is third C. Input power, total power, input power. So generally input power we can write it as output power plus combination of losses. Output power plus losses, right? You already given losses means we can divide the losses is like this. First you write down the losses. Losses is so we can write another thing, not losses, gross mechanical power developed. Just take it as the gross mechanical power developed plus losses we can take it as. Then we know the gross mechanical power developed, and the losses are how many types of losses? Mechanical losses and rotor losses and stator losses. We have three types of losses here, and gross mechanical power developed is, so output power we have to include again. Yeah, yes, gross mechanical power developed is 27213.5 plus mechanical loss is 2574.2 and 2500 watts and 1.59 kilowatts. So by doing this we will get the loss. By doing this, sorry, input again, not losses here. Input is nothing but gross mechanical power developed, and these are the losses. 1000. We will get 33,877.7. We can take it as 33.87 kilowatts. 87 kilowatts. So this is the input power. So better to write here, the input power is 33.87 kilowatts. To 3.87 kilowatts. Next, efficiency. Efficiency D. Not gross actual output power. So this is output power, and don't confuse here, just output power only. Okay, you will add the mechanical power losses, right? So efficiency is nothing but generally it is the ratio of output power to input power. Output power to input power. Output power and input power, three-phase induction motor. Generally, the output power of the three-phase induction motor is, this is the output power. We know already is given the output power here. The output power is, this is the value of the output power. That value is 27213.5. 27213.5 by input power is 33,870 watts. So by doing the calculation we will get 34 percentage. So in order to get the percentage we have to multiply with 100. With 100. So this is the efficiency. So therefore efficiency equal to 80.34 percentage. 80.34 percentage. Next question is E, line current. Next is the line current. That is, so in order to get the line current, first we have to look at the what is the input power. Input power equal generally √3 times into line voltage into line current into power factor. Okay, what is input power? We already find out this input power, that is 33.87 kilowatts, and this is the √3. Line voltage, what is line voltage? Given voltage is always line voltage, not phase voltage, that is 500 ohms. So this is 500 volts, and we have to find out the line current, and he given cos phi as 0.85. Look at here, cos phi is 0.85. So this is 0.85. So by doing the calculation we will get IL equal to 33.87 kilo by √3 into 500 into 0.85. √3 into, so this is the IL value, that IL equal 46.01 amperes. So this is the line current. Line current value is 46.01 amperes. 01 amperes. This is also, so this is the procedure to, he can ask any type of model. We are discussed here 5 types of models, so we can use any type of model, and in the examination he can ask any model from this. Okay, right. And next we will discuss another problem, the last problem in this class, that is a 33 kV 20 pole 50 kg star connected induction motor has slip ring, rotor of resistance is 0.025 ohms and standstill reactance is 0.8 ohms. The motor speed is 294 rpm when full load torque is applied. Compute the slip at maximum torque. Question is slip at maximum torque. First, to get maximum torque, what is the condition? The condition equal to rotor resistance equal to slip times of rotor reactance. So from that, slip equal to R2 by X2 simply at maximum torque, at Tmax. at Tmax. Therefore, what is resistance? Resistance value is 0.28, and what is resistance not 0.28? 0.025. Reactance is 0.28. Then slip equal, we will find out 0.089, or approximately equal to the 0.18. I can take it as a 0.09. Simple problem. So he can ask in the in the examination he will ask maximum torque also. So the condition for maximum torque is R2 equal S times of X2. This is one of the important model. Okay, in this class we discussed three things. Those are rotor parameters relation, and we discussed three problems regarding this rotor parameters. Okay, thank you.